there, folks. Welcome to my podcast, It's Possible. I'm so excited to have you join us today. Well, imagine this. You are a teenager with dreams as big as the sky, and you're constantly told that life is full of uncertainties. But what if I told you that it's possible to chase your passion, just like our amazing guest today? Hi there, everyone. In this episode, we are going to chat with someone who is not only an inspiration, but also a wildlife photographer as well as an IT employee. Yes, that's a pretty great combo, right? So, even though it might seem a little bit challenging, our guest followed their heart and made it happen. So, hang on tight and let's dive into the incredible story without any further delay. It's time to discover how you can make your dreams a reality right here on It's Possible. Good morning, ma'am. A hearty welcome to my podcast, It's Possible. I'm very excited to be here today. You're someone I have looked up to for a long time because you have achieved something incredible. You're not just an IT professional, but also a wildlife photographer. Now, that's no small feat, but I bet it wasn't a smooth road to get you there. Pursuing your dreams is never easy, and there must be many challenges. Despite all that, you followed your passion. So, without any delay, let's dive in and learn more about you and your amazing journey.
Yep, thank you so much for having me here. Surely, let's
So,
go for that.
yeah. So, let me start with a very basic question. What inspired you to become a wildlife photographer, and how did you get started in this field?
All right, so it's a very long answer. Be prepared for that one. So I have been close to nature since my childhood. I was born and brought up in a place where it's surrounded by nature and wildlife, great birds, and a lot of things. So I have been inspired by nature since the beginning. I don't think I love anything more than nature. And that is what inspired me. I wanted to freeze the moments, I wanted to capture the moments. So when I was given my first camera, I was supposed to capture my brother's convocation, though instead I was capturing the flowers and butterflies there. So so that's how it started. Then I continued doing that throughout my college life. I used to carry my camera in the college and used to capture the butterflies, flowers, wildflowers there. So yeah, it started there. My brother got to know about it, and he gave me my first digital camera. My first digital camera was Nikon D3200, the most basic camera. Yeah, so I used that for 6 years approximately, and I have clicked some of my most favorite pictures through that. And I have carried that everywhere, wherever I went. So my wildlife journey started basically in 2018 when I came across the profile for the famous photographer Varun Aditya. I contacted him, went to a tour with him to Amboli, and that's where I found myself. Actually, that is where I felt like this is where I belong. And there it was. I felt like it was not comfortable, but it felt like home, and that's how my journey started.
Oh, so that's pretty amazing. And I guess
Yeah.
your photography, like whatever you have told me till now, started from your brother's convocation. And then,
Yes.
yeah, then the professional photography started when you went on the expenditure with Varun Aditya. So I
Yes.
guess that's
Yes.
pretty great, like going with the number one photographer of India, like wildlife photographer, and learning
Yeah.
valuable insights are like very amazing. It might be a great expenditure for you.
It was because he was accompanied by two of his best friends. They are one of the, I mean, two most leading wildlife photographers, Arvind and Subhash Nair. So, Arvind Ramamurthy, you might follow him on Instagram. I mean, he has some of the best composition pictures, and the composition sense of him is just mind blowing. It's brilliant. So I very passionately follow these three people in my life, and I was super lucky to have met them in the initial phases of my career. I mean, it's not exactly a career right now, but yeah, I mean, this is a journey, and when it started, they were there. So I was pretty lucky to have found them.
Yeah, it's truly amazing.
Yeah.
So let's move on. So, can you share one of your most memorable or challenging wildlife photography experience? And like what made it stand out? What made it significant in your life?
So they all have been amazing till now. I mean, I there is not just one experience that I might say that this was more amazing than the previous one or the one. I mean,
All
but
have
then
its own.
yeah, I mean, but challenging in terms of challenging, as you say, that it would be, I would say, my first experience that was Zamboli. So we were there for 3 days, and for 3 days we were wet, like completely wet throughout the 3 days. I mean, the clothes. I mean, Amboli is a rainforest, right? So it was all rainfall and continuous rainfall in the month of August, and it was dense there, snakes crawling around, frogs around. You don't have you have to be careful that you don't step on any being there, because that would be huge mistake. So yeah, I mean, that was most challenging and wonderful experience altogether. So yeah, I would say it was Amboli. I just recently visited Amboli again in the month of September this year. And after 2018, this was my second time in Amboli, and it was as amazing as it was previously. Luckily, rainfall started just when I went there. It had stopped for a week, and somehow God blessed me with the rains, because in rains you get good sighting there. So it was again challenging and amazing altogether.
So I guess Amboli might be the toughest, but also the most memorable. Like since it's the first
Yeah.
thing photography where you have done, like those
Yes.
moments, those nice experiences will like even though
Yes.
if it's challenging or difficult, it's still a good
Yeah.
experience. It's like those things are the first things that you'll never forget eventually. Like
Exactly. Your first you never forget, right? So your first you always
first.
remember. And first being that kind of discomfort.
Mhm.
And, I mean, being wet for 3 days straight, I mean, just sleeping, able to sleep in somewhat drier situation. But then throughout the day, you are wearing the wet clothes, getting wet, your camera, you're trying to protect the camera from the rains.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It's thrilling. It's thrilling, literally.
Thrilling. Yeah,
Yeah.
so and as you said, like Amboli, it's a rainforest. And till now,
Yes.
I have never known that like in monsoon, it's much more like uh, great and giving opportunities for more pictures, like more opportunities for
Yes.
more many pictures. So I guess
Yes.
not only for me, this will be a new learning for everyone, like something to
Oh,
know
yes.
that to visit
Yes, and you
Amboli.
should visit Amboli. You should visit Amboli. I mean, although I think Munnar is closer to you, Munnar is as similar as Amboli, with more species. In fact, more frog species. I have never been to a Munnar. It's my dream to go to Munnar as well. But Amboli has this, vibe of it, and just not the wildlife, the nature around, and the what you say, landscapes around are just too brilliant. They're just too amazing.
That's
So
mind-blowing.
I yeah, I mean, I suggest anyone who loves traveling to visit Amboli at least once in their lifetime, during monsoon especially.
Yeah, I guess that will be a great insight for all the animal lovers out there, wildlife lovers, and photography lovers out there.
Yes.
So, okay, wildlife photography often requires patience and persistence. So, how do you approach a shoot when the subject is elusive or difficult to find?
So you see, the thing is that you have to be very patient, as you mentioned, right? You might find, I mean, you go to a place where that place is known for that particular subject, and you might not find that. You might get disappointed when you don't find it. But it's
Mhm.
quite all right, because photography is like, you're it's a gift from nature, and it's so what is spontaneous, and you don't decide which species are you going to find, which you are going to photograph. But yeah, I mean, when there is a subject that you want to photograph and is quite shy in nature and is elusive, you have to keep a distance from that subject. First of all, respect the space for that animal, because you cannot intimidate them and you cannot approach them, because they have quite stronger senses than us. If you say that, smelling or hearing powers, they have much more advanced features than us, right? Because even dogs can hear than us, right? So it's important to keep your safe distance from the animal. In the end, it is an animal. It's not trained. It's not, they don't
The
know what is
wild.
right or wrong in the terms of, in human terms, right? They don't know that.
Mm.
So you have to respect their space and just keep your distance with the animal and shoot from quite some distance, and then just be patient. They can appear anywhere from anywhere, and you just have to be there, present there where there might be a possibility or there might be signs. For example, for tigers, if you go to a safari, right, so there are signs like a deer might call. So there is this deer panic call, which gives you the indication that the tiger might be there,
It's somewhere
right?
around.
So yes, it's somewhere around. So you patiently wait there. So I have heard photographers waiting for like 4 hours at one single place, sitting there, sleeping in the jeep itself, and waiting for the tiger to approach. Right. So they have spent that much. I have been quite lucky that I have witnessed many tigers, and I didn't have to wait so much longer. And I have mostly witnessed male tigers, so they have been extremely huge. There was this one time when I was in Tadoba, this in January, this January. I was in Tadoba and the tiger was approaching. So everyone knew that it's approaching from that side, but it's where exactly it is, we could not tell because their grasses were very long. All
Huh.
right, so they were tall, and we were not able to,
See
distinguish between the
clearly.
grass and the tiger, right?
Okay.
Because the patterns are almost similar, the colors are almost similar, and it was very cold, and it was in the morning. Suddenly, everyone was talking and everyone was chatting. I was just looking into the grass, and suddenly I noticed one movement, and I said, "Tiger." And as we were watching it, you wouldn't believe, I was on the edge of the safari jeep,
Okay.
okay, and the tiger came here, like this point. It was this close.
Wow.
I think I have not experienced that kind of fear ever. I mean, you always are humbled when you witness a tiger because of the size and uh, the majestic size of them
Right.
is, yeah, because it will make you, everyone, if someone says that you don't, I am not scared of tiger, that person is lying, because tigers are huge, and they are ferocious, and they are untamed,
Intimidating.
obviously. Right, yeah, intimidating. And that tiger came and he was directly looking into my eyes. So that experience was wonderful. So what you have to do is, you don't have to panic that time, right? Your body might react, and you might move, and you might jump off the safari jeep. I mean, if you are too scared, but you don't have to do that, because these animals are not tamed. They don't know what is right or wrong. They will always try to protect themselves,
Oh, they
right? So
feel like
you
they're
have to wait.
attacking themselves, like you guys are attacking them, and
Yes,
in
yes,
turn they defend.
yes. So their defense is attack,
Huh.
right? So that is how they are built by nature. They
That's
protect themselves by that only. They have survived through all these years by protecting themselves, by actually attacking, right? So we have to respect the space for an animal and keep our distance, keep calm, keep patience, and just make as much less noise as possible and shoot them.
yeah. And I guess, yeah, like as you said, a person who is saying that I'm not afraid of tigers, even if a tiger comes in front of me, I'm not afraid of it. They'll, yeah, like you said, they'll probably be lying, because at that moment when a tiger suddenly approaches, and in your case, at least I would have been terrified. Like I wouldn't have known what
Yeah.
to do. I would have been terrified. But
Yeah,
I guess,
usually I'm not scared. Usually I don't get scared that instant. Like, I don't react very fast. I am very patient with the animals, any kind of animal, be that like, I recently had a very major dog bite in my hand. Like, my Saint Bernard almost tore my hand off. Like, so, but then even then I did not panic so much because I knew if I'm going to panic too much, he's going to attack more. So when you are with an animal, you have to stay calm and you have to keep yourself composed so that you don't scare that animal any more than it already is, right?
oh,
So you
yeah,
have to keep your composure and you have to be patient with that animal.
that's a very, I would say, a great advice. At the same time, it's really great, like how you were patient even when the dog bit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, people would have like in any one place of you would actually like scream, like become more terrified. But I guess,
Yeah, I mean, I screamed because it was paining and I had to call people. So there was no one near me.
oh,
For people to come near me took 2 minutes, at least 2 minutes. They ran and came towards me. So I had to scream, of course. But you do not make movement then. You do not move your body so much. Otherwise, my hand would have been like, I mean, I have a good scar. If you can see here, yeah, I have good scar there. So this was this big. I mean, it was open, like completely open. So, but it could have been more. So that's how you yeah, do that. With tigers you have to be very quiet. You have to be very very still. So Suyash Keshri, if you follow him, Suyash Keshri, he gives you really good advices on how to approach animals. And he is the one, I attended his master class, and he inspires me like anything. And he has this complete training done on tracking tigers on ground, right? So he has completed those trainings are done in South Africa, I think. And he was the one who explained us all that, how do you deal with animals. I
how do you approach it?
Especially like tigers, elephants, the big ones,
Yeah,
right? So
the cats.
yeah, so you should follow him. He's great photographer as well as great wildlife conservationist.
Oh, that I'll surely do. And
Yeah.
yeah, I guess the best way to deal with an animal is to be patient with it.
Yes.
Yeah, like you said, to be patient is the best solution for any animal, in fact.
Yes, it is.
Mhm. So now that we are on this topic, what's your favorite wildlife species to photograph, and what is it about them that captivates you as a photographer?
uh, I love all animals, of course, but this particular animal, a big cat, and that is leopard. So I don't know why I feel extremely intimidated by that animal. Also, very attracted to it because maybe it's because of the eyes. They have a bluish, greenish texture in their eyes and the color in their eyes, and it's too beautiful. And if you see the videos of a leopard, it's more expressive than any other big cat I've ever seen. And I had a great experience of witnessing a leopard in Kuno National Park. When nobody knew about Kuno National Park, you might have heard the cheetah project that is right now going on. So
Yeah.
Kuno National Park is about 153 kilometers from Gwalior, my city. And we visited that park. That was my first ever safari, and it was in 2020 October. The park had just opened. There was literally no one other than us in that park. The whole park, there was no one. And we stayed in the forest of this guest house, and it was in the middle of the jungle. At
Okay.
night when we were walking, we even witnessed jackal in our campus, and they told us that leopards do come around here. So we could not witness any leopard, we could not sight any leopard during the day safari. And it was lucky for us that we went for a night safari. We just wanted to try our luck. Let's go for a night safari.
Yeah.
We went there, and I don't know what, I mean, that was one of the most magical sight. The leopard, it was leopardess, and it was quite small, but it almost kept on walking in front of our jeep for about 200 meters. And the nature, yeah, so the behavior was so unique. It kept on walking. So
Well
the Kuno
said.
National Park and the national parks in Madhya Pradesh, if you notice, they have quite these elephant grasses are quite common in this region,
Yeah.
right? So after monsoon, the park had just opened, so there were elephant grasses just by the road, that the track, and the track is not defined, of course, when you are in a jungle, right? It's all different, it's not concrete, it's muddy path,
Not
right?
con.
So yes, and elephant grasses were there. The leopardess is walking, and it would jump into the these elephant grasses. It would jump there. Now it's waiting for us to pass that. So it's she's saying that you pass, then I will come out. So that is what she was indicating. So what our driver would do, because he was experienced, so what he would do, he would just switch off the light of the
Ah,
car, and then wait for it to come back again on the track, and it would. So this it did for about 2 3 times. Then we felt that she is being troubled. So after that we left, but that was such a magical sight. Literally, it was my first time witnessing a leopard, and she was beautiful, beautiful leopardess. And I follow Shaz Jung. If you follow him, he's in based in Kabini, right? So he has made some beautiful work. He has done some beautiful work on the leopard, that is melanistic leopard, known as shadow or saya. It's in Kabini region of Nagarhole National Park, and it's gorgeous. So I love leopards. They are too expressive without saying or doing anything. Their face is always talking, like it's saying something. It always feels like that.
expresses through its eyes. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. When it looks at you, it's just magical. It's beautiful.
Wow. Right now, like I can imagine the situation you were in. Like I can totally imagine like what it was like and what a beauty it might be right then.
Yes,
This makes me
yes.
want to visit that place right now.
Oh, please do, please do. Madhya Pradesh has one of some of the best wildlife sanctuaries. The landscape is amazing. You should visit them.
Yeah, that's a very good new like advice. And I'll surely visit that place whenever I can. I'll surely
Please
visit
do.
that.
Please do.
So moving on. How do you stay current with the latest developments of AI and how does it affect wildlife photography?
Yeah, so I'll be very genuine about it. Initially, I used to hate AI because if you have heard about in the news that there is this Sony competition, a photography competition organized by Sony,
Hmm.
and a person with the AI image won the first award.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was illegal. He should first, in the first step, he should not have submitted an AI created image. Secondly, I don't know how he got the first prize, and how could not they realize that this is a AI created image, right? So that I was really I was very against it. But then later I realized that when you are moving ahead in this world of digital exposure, and I mean digitization, you have to adapt to the changes that are coming in the technology. And you have to understand that, I mean, you have to uh, live with it. Now if you want to sustain, you have to adapt it and use it to your benefit. So I'm right now currently I am adapting to it. I'm not using any AI created image. I still strongly oppose that. I do not support that at all, because that is not my thing. Like, I don't ever use anything that is not organic,
So
right?
like
Because
using
I don't support.
yeah, like using AI for good reasons is different rather than using AI
Yes,
for like photography, like making photographs and such things.
Yes, because it has become so easy. Like almost everyone can have the access to internet right now, right? Almost anyone can create an image which can win if not recognized as AI, right? AI created. So I mean, that it is wrong to do that. It is against the rules, and I don't support that at all. I support which is whatever it is that is genuine, and because we wildlifers work really very hard. You know,
It's truly difficult.
we have to, like, there have been times that I have not even slept during night. I have trekked throughout the night just to take pictures of some snakes, just to click some bird, a migratory bird. So, there are so many people who have worked harder than I have. Of course, I mean, I have just started my journey. I mean, it just been 20. Officially, I started it from 2020, right? So it's just been 3 years approximately that I started, and so many people have been working so hard since decades. And to use AI created image is a disrespect for them,
Yeah.
right? It's you are just not respecting your idols,
Hmm.
right? So to use it for your benefit in a wrong way, I strongly oppose. To use it in your benefit, of course, I agree that we should move on with the new technologies, learn them, and make use of them in the most beneficial way.
Yeah.
That would, I mean, it should benefit other people as well, not just you.
It's very true. Like as the world
Yeah.
is progressing, we should also progress, but then
Yes.
we need to do it in a good for a good purpose. Like we can't just use
Yes.
it anywhere, like wherever we want, or to create something fake. It needs to be
Exactly.
genuine, like you said. And
Exactly.
honestly, I've taken a look at your pictures on Instagram, and they're a beauty. Like actually,
Thank you so
they're
much.
so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I,
Thank
I
you.
feel like all your hard work paid off.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So, wildlife photography often involves like traveling to remote or challenging places. What are some of the
Yes.
most breathtaking places that you have visited till now?
Most breathtaking places that I've visited. Um, I would say my first experience was, of course, Amboli was amazing, but Kono National Park. It's not that famous. Not many photographers have been there. Kuno National Park has some of the bestest landscapes, I would say. Not just the animals. I mean, there was this time, at one time, all four big cats used to live in Kuno National Park. So many years back, when we had leopards, sorry, cheetah, Indian cheetah,
Design.
right? Yeah. So cheetah, leopard, tigers, and lions. All four of them used to accommodate. I mean, Kuno used to accommodate all four of them, and it is huge. So it has a river. It has a hilly region. I mean, I think almost all the national parks in Madhya Pradesh have them, but I just find Kuno, maybe because it is so untouched, maybe because of that, I felt that it has beautiful landscape. Other than that, Satpura Wildlife Sanctuary, if you have heard about it, it's near Hoshangabad and Narmadapuram now. It's beautiful. It has hilly terrains, quite some, and you to start your wildlife safari, right? First, you have to cross this river. So it's backwaters of a dam, and you have to cross that first by via boat. And when you reach the gate, there you start with the you get a jeep there, and then you start your safari. So that was quite amazing. Then as I said, I love them all. I just cannot tell you that this is
Name
one
one
particular thing
place.
that I yeah, I mean, I love them
Everything
all.
has its own
um,
beauty. You can't compare one
exactly.
with one another.
Exactly. My dream is to go to Kana during winter morning, because I've heard that Kana has some of the most beautiful, magical landscapes during winter morning, because there is fog, and then there's this blue hue around, and you get the most amazing landscapes there. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to visit Kana very soon.
Yeah, and I guess you'll definitely will. So, like you said, Kuno National Park, actually, I didn't know that all four big cats used to live there. Like, it's something
Yes.
new to me, and that's quite fascinating, to be honest. Like, all four: lion, tiger, cheetah, leopard. It's a variety of
Yes.
combination, like variety of animals.
Yes. So leopards initially, if you know that they were not supposed to climb the tree. So you
Yeah,
might have seen the pictures and videos of leopards climbing the tree and captured on a tree, right? Taking
yeah.
its kill on the tree. So leopard being the smallest of all these big cats, it had to adapt to survive and climb the tree. So
Okay, so
that is
it's
an
something.
adaptation technique that it did through years. It had to adapt itself because there was no other way it could survive.
Yeah, it's like it's not an inborn thing, but then it's
Yes.
adaptation. Basically, like to survive in this world full of competition, they had to. They didn't have any choice, so they
Yes.
soon started adapting.
Yes. Exactly.
That's really nice and something new for me too. So I guess
Yes.
it might actually be something new for many of them out there, like many of the people. So yeah, I guess that's something new we are learning today. Anyways, moving forward. Now that you're an IT professional also, balancing a career in IT with a passion for wildlife photography is a significant challenge. How do you manage
Yes.
both roles concurrently, and in what way do they enhance or complement each other?
So I really struggle with that because during the weekdays it's almost impossible for me to travel.
Yeah,
Right. So as I said that I started my journey in 2020. So there's a reason why I started that. I could start that because we
it's
had
lockdown.
work from home. So due to pandemic, I mean, yeah, pandemic was really really bad for everyone. But I used that into my favor, and it actually supported me to stay home and travel more. So what I could do is I could work from anywhere. Right. So what I would do is I would finish my work before timeline, before the deadlines that were given to me, way before, like 2 3 days. I used to give myself. I used to complete them fast, and then I used to travel. So working and traveling, like I mean, the safari is about you start at 6 a.m. and it finishes at 11 a.m. Right. So what I would do is I would log in at 11 a.m. then,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and then I mean, staying online, working my finishing my work beforehand, planning my schedule like that, without any disturbances, that I do concentrate on my work as well, and wildlife as well. So I used to do that, and in my previous company I used to get a lot of leaves. In my present company there are lesser leaves, though my traveling has reduced a bit. But then I used to utilize the all the long weekends. I have utilized them. I used to utilize the my work. If there is small work, I used to finish it earlier and then utilize the 2 days and plus the weekend. So yeah, I mean, that is how I've survived till now, and hopefully we'll be doing that. Though they are now calling us back to office, and we have to move back to our regional places. Well, I mean, my not regional places, from our regional places, and to back to office. That is a challenge right now, but gonna make it somehow, use it to our benefit, because now this passion has, it's unstopping, like they're unstoppable, and I it's just increasing by the day. So maybe some way in the future I will maybe take it as my profession, but for now I have to sustain, and for that I need an IT job, because all my travels are I mean, I am pretty grateful for this IT job, and I'm able to sustain and able to travel because of this salary that I'm getting through IT.
Yeah.
And these just asked that how does it complement each other.
Yeah.
So to answer that, maybe the passion that I feel for IT, sorry, this wildlife, makes me work harder for my job.
Yeah.
Right. So if I
To
work
explore
harder
more.
there, yes. So if I work harder in my IT job, I will have more opportunity for my passion as well.
Wildlife.
I'll get, yeah. So yeah, that is how it complements both the parties are getting benefit from me.
Yeah. So, like you said, I guess sometimes it's better to prioritize, like, in order to get something, to achieve something, you need to work a bit hard. Like, you need to reschedule properly, and you need to make time in for everything so that what you want to do, like wildlife photography, comes in. So, I guess not
Yes.
only in this case, but any case, like in any scenario, if a person prioritizes something and focuses on that, whether it's a career or a goal, I guess it would be a great benefit, because that way you're spending time with what you want to do and also
Yes.
finishing the other tasks that are awaiting
Yes. It makes you more active,
and
more
organized.
yeah, more organized, and you plan ahead of your schedule. So that gives you a sense of responsibility,
Mhm.
and you become more disciplined.
Yeah,
So it really helps you. Yeah.
yeah, that's great. So, who, like, now that you have told us about how they both complement each other, who has provided like significant support to your career, especially given a role in IT sector which demands substantial dedication? Like, how did your colleagues or office managers react to this, like when you wanted to pursue your wildlife career in wildlife photographer as well?
So I have not yet declared to anyone, mostly in my office, that I want to pursue a wildlife career. Although my previous company, I was quite friendly there because we were physically present with each other, and we were close. So almost all my company mates knew that I want to pursue wildlife. Also, they knew that I want to. I mean, I was quite good at photography, so they utilized me in events. My managers and HR, so I did some magazine shoots for them. I covered some events for them in my company. So yeah, that was beneficial for both of us. It was a good experience for me, as well as the pictures were of course good for them. So that I could do, and I would say that when I entered IT, I was in my training in Mangalore, and I had one HR manager and one trainer. So Anup and Ben, these two people were the people who promoted me like anything. They literally pushed me into photography. They wanted me to pursue it harder, and they made me, they used to keep telling me, Apoorva, do this, go out and shoot there, take participate in these competitions. And they used to, vote for me, comment on my pictures, promoting me. And even today they are so they love my pictures, they keep promoting me, motivating me. So I've had such beautiful people in my journey that they have always supported. Currently also, I have amazing set of friends who promote me and motivate me at every step. They celebrate every achievement with me, and yeah, I feel super grateful for that. There was this one time that recently my blog came out in my Infosys. I'm in Infosys, so there is this portal where you share your journey with your hobbies or your passion, whatever you follow, right? So I posted one blog of mine, and I got a great response for that one. My managers really appreciated me for that. They congratulated me for that. And yeah, I mean, I'm supported, but yeah, I mean, to know they don't know that I want to follow this one as my career yet, but eventually I think they have the idea that I'm more inclined towards wildlife and photography than I am to this IT world. So I guess they have this idea, slight idea.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
So I guess it's really great how your ex-colleagues and your colleagues like are supporting your career. And I guess that's all because of the hard work you have put in and the interest that you have been showing constantly towards this career. And it's amazing how people are around you all are so motivating and pushing you forward to give your best. I guess that's what
Yes.
something like everyone needs, a little push. That if that push is the correct one, then I guess everyone will enjoy whatever career they are choosing, especially if it's an unconventional career. Like many people,
Exactly.
take a step back, especially this generation, are taking a step back if there are a lot of uncertainties in a field, like wildlife photographers, for instance. If you weren't an IT professional and just a wildlife photographer, I guess that would have been a lot of there would have been a lot of uncertainties without any doubt. So yeah, even now there are a lot of uncertainties. However, it's less compared to if you were just an photographer. So I guess
Yeah.
that's what this generation needs to know. Like, even though there are a lot of uncertainties, you still need to pursue. Like a little push is
Yes.
enough.
Yes, I've been extremely lucky regarding that. My brother has always supported me, though my parents were not so much convinced, for me to travel so much. And because in our region, girls don't do that.
Okay.
So it's like I'm the first one in my whole family, like from my mother's side or my father's side,
Wow.
that a girl travels so much and is following her passion. Nobody, everyone is almost by my age. I mean, I'm past my age of marriage, and most of them are married, most of them have kids even. I never wanted to follow that path because I wanted to make one for myself. And passion means like what do we say? It's my like it's like breathing for me. If I don't follow my
Very
passion,
vital for you.
I might suffocate. So for me to follow my passion, my hobbies, I do paint. You can see them behind me. I
Yeah.
paint and I dance. So all these things I need to to stay driven to live a happy life, because we are awarded with just one life, right? And even 80 years are not enough to actually experience everything and enjoy the life. I
Yeah.
mean, everyone has a different vision, but I do think that I believe that that I'm supposed for something. I'm made for something more, right? Not just marriage and kids. And I mean, that would be amazing too as well. I mean, in future, if I if I can do that, that would be amazing. But even if I cannot, I would be extremely satisfied and happy with my passion, following my passion. So yeah, and I've been very, very, very lucky to have met such people who respect my work, respect the kind of hard work I put into this passion, right? So passion does not come easy for anyone. Like there are so
A
many
lot of
people I've
struggles
met of my
following,
age.
like ups and downs.
Yeah, I mean, I've met so many people who don't even know what they're passionate about, or they're looking for something to drive them. So I keep telling them that just recognize what makes you happy, what makes you accomplished or feel accomplished, right? So it is extremely important for you by the end of the day to feel that you have achieved something, because we have been nurtured, we have been brought up like that, and especially in India, where we are a land of overachievers, right?
Mm.
So I think we all are that this feeling of achievement by the end of the day, that makes us feel full. And
Yeah.
for me to have followed my passion by the if I just in my home, like this is a old bungalow, about 100 years old bungalow, and it has a huge campus here in my home. So there are about I have photographed about 35 species of birds, minimum 35 species of birds in my home itself. So I mean, I call it a mini wildlife sanctuary. And so whenever
Actually,
I'm
it
bored,
is a
like,
mini wildlife sanctuary.
yeah. So whenever I'm sitting there and getting bored, I just pick up my camera and go out and shoot. There are two species of owls. There are multiple species, other sunbirds, and many more. Right. So I love to photograph them, observe their nature, what they're doing. So that kind of thing makes me feel like, okay, I did something by the end of the day, and it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that is important, and for you to be supported towards your goals is extremely important. In today's culture, I see people are too competitive, too competitive. I mean, it's unhealthy, the kind of competition that is going on, the race that is going on. I get contacted with so many pages and people that you want to increase your followers, you want to increase your likes and all those things. Pay
Mm.
us 200, pay us 300, pay this much. I just did that once when I was contacted by a very genuine wildlife page. I did that once, and but then it did not feel right.
Yeah.
I just felt that, I understand, and they were all organic likes and organic something likes only. I mean, they wanted to promote my work on a wildlife page, so I did like, all right, they are also doing a business. Okay, I'll support them. So
Yeah.
that was it. But then I don't want likes. I don't want followers. I just want people to love wildlife, to respect nature, right? So to live, because we are what we are because of this nature, right? We
Yes.
were we were
Definitely true.
yeah. There is nothing that we would be able to do. We will be able to survive if the nature is not there, if this greenery is not there, if this these animals are not there, if the life
Just feels
this
all empty.
circle of life is not maintained,
Yeah.
right? So I'm very genuinely passionate about wildlife and nature. So I don't want these likes and follows. I respect everyone who does follow me and genuinely loves my work. I really appreciate that. But then I'm not getting anything out of it other than the making people fall in love with wildlife, right?
Yeah.
And that is what my motive is. I want people to love wildlife, respect wildlife, and I want to educate them.
Appreciate it basically.
Yeah, educate and appreciate that, this is something that you should learn to live with. So that is my motto.
That's true words of inspiration. And
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
I guess yeah, that's very true. Like if it should be genuine, anything like any work,
Yes.
any in any career, not only in this, but it should be genuine. Like you can't ask
Yes.
someone to do something like using AI or asking someone by bribing them or anyway like
It's not right because
yeah,
there are people who are working for followers, there are people who are working for
influence.
influence. But I mean, I don't wish for that. I don't want that in my life because uh, yeah, I might get followers, more followers through them, right? And what is the sense of it? What am I putting out there in the world? What am I achieving through it? Nothing. A few
Yeah.
followers, a few likes, then what? Right? So this materialistic world is not something that I want. And of course I would love to earn money and do good to the nature, do good to do some social work. I just completed my masters in social work, and I would love to do some social work in future. And but then just people are driven towards money these days. I don't want that.
Yeah.
You should Money is a part of life, it is not
It's not
life.
a necessity. It's like it's needed, but it's not
It
a
is a necessity these days, I would say. You will not be able to live quite some life, or you would not be able to do something, because if you don't have money, right, so you will not be able to achieve that you want to. You will always
yeah.
feel like you because if you see this wildlife sanctuaries, if you visit these wildlife sanctuaries, you might have to spend about 25,000 at once.
Hmm.
If you don't have it, how would you go?
Yeah.
Right? So necessity it is,
It is.
but it should not. It You should not be driven for it.
Yeah. Like
Right?
that's what
It
I
is a
actually meant.
requirement, and it is an addition to your life, but it is not your life.
Yeah.
Life is being happy and being content and spreading love around. Be that for humans, be that for animals, be that for nature, be that for anything. You should not be driven by money.
Yeah. That's very
So
true, actually.
yeah.
So, as a wildlife photographer, you have likely witnessed the impact of environmental changes on animal habitats. So, can you share
Yes.
your thoughts on the role of photographers on raising awareness about these conservation issues and the environmental impacts on animals and wildlife?
Of course. So if you have noticed when you were a kid, right, you might have noticed that there were many sparrows, the house sparrows,
Yeah,
around your home.
there were.
And have you noticed that they have disappeared?
Yeah, now, like, it's not, you
Yes.
can't
So
see
you
them,
don't
it's very
see,
rare.
yes. So as a kid, there were so many species of birds, much more than I can see now. were there in my home, and now they are not there. So there is a reason that the environmental changes are hugely affecting these species. So there have been multiple documentaries that have been created, many amazing photographers and videographers who have worked for this, to aware people, I mean, spread awareness amongst people about these disappearing species. Right. So, I mean, they were dependent on the farmers, these house sparrows. People used to feed them with grains. Your mother might have fed them with grains or something. I mean, these things we used to do, but with time, so many species that we observe are disappearing in front of us with such huge rate. Right. So this is what we do. Like, we when we photograph, like if you have seen my pictures,
Yeah.
so I write a little bit description about that species
Yeah, I have
and what is
noticed
good
that.
for them.
What's
Yeah, what
unique
is good
about
for them,
them?
what is not good for them. Yeah, and I mean, what if they have disappeared or if they are in danger. So I want people to know about that species, and like for example, a lot of urbanization is going on around everywhere. If you see, there
Yeah.
are properties being built up, and there are so many wetlands. There
Construction.
were
Yeah.
so many wetlands
Yeah.
everywhere, like around Bangalore, around Delhi, such big cities. There were so many wetlands that have disappeared. And because of that, there are so many birds and species of snakes and frogs even. They have just disappeared. They have vanished. They are extinct now. Or if they were migratory, they have stopped coming to our land. So
Due
there
to
is a reason.
urbanization and the extreme
Yes.
pollution.
Yes, they don't have a place to stay because these birds follow pattern, what they were taught by their elders, what they were taught by their parents. So they follow that path. They come in flocks, they go in flocks,
Yeah.
right? So if they don't find that place that was shown to their by their parents, they would stop coming,
Yeah.
right? They would not be able to find that place, and then once they don't find it, they will not be
They
coming
never
back,
come back.
right? So that is so sad. Right,
Actually.
pelicans used to come regularly. There were so many, a huge amount of pelicans used to travel and come here. But then now, I mean, in 4 or 5 years or 2 3 years, once they come,
Like
such
it's
a beautiful
once in a
bird.
blue moon kind of.
Yeah, such a beautiful bird, but it does not come so often. So these things are happening, and this work, a wildlife conservationist, a wildlife photographer, a wildlife videographer, it is a job for us people to show the world that this is what is missing, and
Happening
this is what is happening.
around
This is
us.
the impact of urbanization. This is the impact of environmental climate changes. So this is how we show this through our digital work, through capturing all these wetlands being destructed, and people are just decomposing the waste into these wetlands. So many birds, if you have seen many photographs, that the birds are tied up with the plastic. I
Yeah.
mean, these birds cannot fend for themselves, right? If they don't know the plastic is bad, and they don't know if they are swimming into some water body, they might get stuck in plastic. So this is the work of a wildlife conservationist who is a photographer or a videographer, to show the world that this is what is happening because of your actions. Right. So this is how people get aware and they want to take actions according to it. So I just recently came across this video reel where they were teaching the people to, if glass gets broken in your place, if cup breaks down, if or something like that happens, you wrap it in paper, then you wrap it in something more, like you make it thick covering,
Huh.
and then you decompose it, then you throw it. Because when we throw away the shattered glass anywhere, just anywhere, there are feral cats, there are feral dogs, there are much more, there are mouse, and so many other species, smaller species, that get extremely badly injured because of that glass.
Yeah.
So how did they communicate to the mass? Through those videos. So that is how it is. So this is so important for us, and to tell the world that this is how you do it. This is what you should do to protect the wildlife, to protect the nature.
Yeah, that's actually so true. Like you
Yeah,
need to all look forward to protecting the nature, and I guess as a wildlife photographer or a
videographer.
you need to promote this thing. Like they need to show the world what's actually happening around them. Why is it happening? What's its impact and such things, so that people are
Yes,
more aware of their surroundings and they help you guys too.
yes.
So moving on, can you describe an emotional connect which you have with animals and landscapes you photograph? And how do you hope your work will inspire others to appreciate and protect our natural world? Like, especially teenagers and this upcoming generation, how would you inspire them through your works?
Um, so my work should be viewed as my love for these animals.
Hmm.
Through my work, I always try, and if you can see, I'm quite passionate and emotional about animals. Like I cannot watch any animal being tortured or
Yeah.
being hurt in any sense of way. And I do support a few organizations which rescue animals and all those things. So because of the reason that uh, I am extremely emotional for animals,
With
be
the
that any
animals.
animal. Yeah, be that any animal, be that wild animal or the feral cats and dogs around, or the cows, horses, anything. I mean, one needs empathy in them, and it's actually good to see that the upcoming generation is much more aware than we were. Yeah, and through Instagram, through social media platforms, you are able to see and learn that I have to respect this animal. I should
Yeah.
not hit this animal, and I should feed the animals. So these things are I mean, you people, your generation is much more what should I say, exposed to
Exposed to
such
these kind of
learnings.
things. Yeah.
Yes. In our generation, when we were kids, we learned that naturally. Especially me, like I never had many friends. Like I did not live in a colony, right? Most people used to live in a colony and have friends and play with them. So I
Yeah.
never had that experience. I never had friends. I used to play with squirrels. I used to climb trees as a kid, and squirrels used to sit on my lap and feed and that kind of thing. So that got me attached to these beings more than anything else. Right. So that's why I say that I love nature and wildlife more than anything in this world, anything in this universe. I would die for them. Right. So that is how passionate I am, and I want to express that through my work. I
Okay.
mean, if you read my captions, I write. I don't exactly write it in a technical way. I write in an emotional way so that people read and understand my feelings towards that animal or what I had experienced towards it. So empathy is extremely important to be induced in every human being, which is missing right now. At least in a generation, in our parents' generation and in our generation, it's something that has been missing. But I am very happy to see kids come forward, and parents, parents of my age who have become parents, they are teaching the kids to love the animals. They are visiting wildlife sanctuaries more. If you can see, the governments are also promoting wildlife sanctuary safaris these days. Much more people are more aware now, I would say. And I see when I go to safaris, right, small kids, they're there. I as a kid I as a kid I'd never experienced that. I
Yeah.
used to visit the zoo, but zoo doesn't teach you empathy, right? I mean, it teaches you that it is okay to keep the animal in the cage. A
Yeah.
zoo will teach you that, which is not okay.
Yeah.
Right,
This
hurting an
generation,
animal, starving it, it's not okay.
yeah, this generation is, like you said, is more aware of that. Like caging an
Yes,
animal just to see it is not right. Like we can go
exactly.
to a national park and watch the same animal, like see the same animal. But
Yes,
like going to zoo is nothing but just promoting it, and which is
exactly.
right.
Which is not at all right. I am extremely against that. So, yeah, I mean, your generation is amazing. I mean, I really feel inspired by your generation that you guys are actually wanting to do something, some good to this world. I mean, who genuinely are trying. I mean, not the TikTokers ones, the ones that are genuinely those ones. I mean, I'm not judging anyone, but I don't like people there just working for followers and likes. I don't like them who are driven by money,
Fake,
as I
like,
said before, right? So I want people to be, passionate and work to have empathy and work for the benefit of the environment and for the animals. So, for example, if you follow Aman Sharma, there is this guy, Aman Sharma, his handle is Birds of India,
okay.
right? On Instagram. He's so young. At such a young age, he is doing so good. He's promoting passion for wildlife that he has in him, and he's working for conservation. He's doing a lot of things. He's achieving so much through that, right? So just not achieving, but he's actually genuinely doing good to the environment. So that functions, right? That works for everyone, right?
Yeah.
For him as well as the people who are actually inspired by him. So
For
he's from
everyone.
your generation, and he's doing so great. So I feel really inspired by this generation, this upcoming generation. I'm sure that you guys are going to do really good for the environment.
Yeah, I really hope that's what actually is going to happen, and I'm kind of sure that'll happen too.
Yes.
So, yeah, whatever you said is on point. Like, it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't take much time. Finally, I would like to ask you one more question. What
Sure.
advice would you give to the aspiring wildlife photographers there, like out there who want to get into the field but are afraid of these uncertainties that are there, both in terms of technical skills as well as building a successful career in that field?
All right. So I'll take just a few minutes for of you to answer this question. Um, I was not provided with that kind of support, and I did not have the awareness to how to proceed with this passion or how to proceed with this field, right? You guys have the time, you guys have the resources to actually do some research over such things, to work towards a species or towards nature or anything at all, whatever you may like, right? So you may do some research work, you may do some study over that. You might there are degrees that you can do towards the wildlife conservation. There are colleges which provide some degrees, so you can do research about them. And and you can spread awareness, you can educate the villages around, the people who are not able to understand, and
Yeah,
just spread empathy towards your work, for your work toward in some other people as well. So that is one advice. You guys have the time and resources, utilize that. That would be great. And other thing is that respect, this respecting wildlife is something that comes from within,
it's
right?
something.
It should not be pretentious, it should not
Yeah,
be your work should show that you are carrying your heart on your sleeve and working towards it,
yeah.
right? So having a plan, good plan for making a career in wildlife photography or videography or conservation or everything, right? Keep Make a plan, do some research, make a plan. You might do a degree, do some research work, increase your knowledge through all the available resources that are there on the internet right now, right? And proceed with that plan. Okay. For people who are financially stable through their parents, they can take the risk. They have the option to take the risk with the uncertainties that are there in this field,
It's much more
right? If
safer
they are,
for them compared to the
it's
others.
much easier. Yeah, it's much easier for them who are from upper middle class and more, who have a business of their own. If the family has a business of their own, so it gets easier for them, and they definitely should make the best out of it, right? and they should utilize all the resources that are given to them by their parents and go passionately towards your goals, right? And for the people who are from the middle class and lower middle class families, like I have been through, so I did not have the option to take that risk to
Not
proceed with my passion.
yeah.
Yeah. So there were the uncertainties were real for me, very, very, very real for me, right? So I could not leave my job. So what they can do is do a degree which will give you a job. Like for example, like I did my bachelor's in computer science,
Yeah.
right? So IT world provides good jobs, good
Yeah.
decent jobs with a good decent pay, right? So you
Yeah.
do that, right? And with that, save money, save consciously, save intelligently, and follow your passion on your side, which I am doing right now. So that is how I see that, I mean, I'm making money at one end and utilizing that money for my passion. So this is how you can proceed with following your passion when you don't have support, financial support from your family or something like that. Because
Yeah.
I've seen so many people messaging me, ma'am, what should I do for wildlife? I am very passionate about wildlife. How do I proceed with it? And how do I follow my passion? How do I purchase the wildlife cameras? So all these things come when you are, when you plan it, right? So you get a job, be that anything, like any job, sales job even. I have seen so many of my friends who work as a salesman during night, and they're in the day they are working with their passion,
Yeah.
right? So you have to work hard. So be ready for it. Like life is not that easy, but
Easy.
it is difficult and it's fun. You can make it fun, right? It's uncertain and it is amazing,
Yeah.
right? So make the most out of the time that you're provided, make the most of the resources that you're provided, make the best out of it, and make a plan it and achieve it.
That's very true. Like, to summarize your advice, so basically, it's never too late to follow your passion, but always
Yes,
having a plan, like a proper plan, like what you're gonna do, how you're gonna
yes,
achieve it, and like where what financial help or is there, like what financial concern is there, or what financial help you need. So making a list of these and pre-planning it makes it much easier for them
yes,
to follow their passion, like anyone, let it be
yes,
a young teenager or even an adult, it doesn't matter,
yes,
it's just a passion. If you're passionate, really passionate towards it, nothing is impossible, even if there are
definitely,
uncertainties.
definitely.
So yeah, I guess that wraps our discussion. Thank you very much for your time. And it was an
Thank you so
absolutely
much.
fantastic conversation. I can already
Thank you so
sense
much.
the excitement from our podcast listeners as they're eagerly waiting to hear more about your incredible journey and your valuable insights. A
Thank you
massive
so
thank you
much.
again for sharing your wonderful insights and time with us again. Your story is an
Thank you.
absolute thrill.
Thank you so much. It was great, great talking to you. You guys inspire me so much. And you guys are actually an inspiration to, adapt to the new world and move forward. Thank you so much for having me there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Take care.